I kind of just wanted to go over a few things, answer some more questions about my experience with Scalp Logic. Um, so I decided to reach out to Joe and Nicole and offer to answer some more questions for you guys. I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the interview with Nicole. I wasn't truly ready for it, and after I watched it, I felt like there was more I could add for my own experience. Not only that, but we recorded that before I got my last session finished. So now I have this last session is healed and I get to show it off to you guys and answer a few questions. And if you guys like this video, feel free to ask more questions and we can just keep going. We can keep answering these, questions. We can keep doing this because I know when Joe and Nicole post a video, I'm always right there ready to watch it because I enjoy it. I I'm already finished with all my sessions. As of right now, I feel like I'm finished. But still, whenever they post a video, I'll still tune in. I'll still watch. It's something that has my interest. It's something that means a lot to me. So, I support them. And if you're here watching this, it must be a big deal to you too. So, whatever you want to ask, feel free, and we'll chat about it. First and foremost, is it going to work? Over the years, especially in your 20s, when, for me personally, when I really started going bald, it was trying to find a way to stop it, whether it was Rogaine or some kind of laser comb or another kind of gel or cream that you saw on television or whatever, or the internet. You spent a lot of money on those and they never actually worked. So that's a big fear is, is it going to work? Number two is it going to look good? When this is all said and done, how will it look? If you're looking at this right now, you're saying this is probably not the first website that you've come to or YouTube page that you've come to where you're looking at SMP. And I've looked at a few, and most of them, for the most part, had really bad results that I could spot from a mile away, and I don't want it to be noticeable. So that's number two. And I think number three, like everyone, it's probably cost is a big reason. So if you can't afford it, you're not going to be able to do it. But fortunately for myself, I was able to, and I will have to say it's some of the best money I've ever spent. I think when it comes to fear of judgment, I think for the most part, nobody wants to admit that they're worried about being judged by others. But I think, unfortunately, we all are. We're all worried about what people think of us. I know I am on, some things I don't really care if I'm judged, but some things, I do care what people think. And when it comes to my hair loss, being made fun of for something or not feeling like you're attractive or handsome or whatever, that could be hurtful. I mean, and it does sound vain, but we're only human. So I'm definitely, when it comes to my looks, I'm worried about what people think, especially, members of the opposite sex. You want to be attractive, to them. So getting this done does make me feel more attractive. And I've been told, personally, it looks better and it looks great. So, I mean, that says a lot. And again, I know that sounds vain, but, it is what it is. Personally, I've never said that I didn't care about losing my hair because as soon as I saw that first strand, when I was 19, fall out, I definitely cared. And actually, before that, I have two grandfathers who were bald, and I kind of knew I had a really good feeling that I was probably going to lose my hair just by genetics. So I was always worried about it. And, You know, I was never not worried about it, and I know a lot of people say they aren't worried about it, or that I'm actually looking too into it personally, but um, I do. I was worried about it, and I am worried about it. And even after I got the SMP, or subtle P, I am still worried about it. You know, always skeptical if somebody's going to notice it or what. But so far, when I take my hat off and ask people if they like my new tattoo, they're pretty confused on what I'm saying. You know, they have no idea until I explain it to them, and the amazement. I actually wish I could capture that on video because their reaction to it is really fun. I think it brings, you know, a lot of joy to myself to get that reaction. I really love it. I definitely feel different now than I did before the treatment. You know, every time I look in a mirror, I see a different person, and um, it's just such a huge difference looking at my pictures from before and after. And I'll show some of those on the screen, um, just to let you see personally how big a difference it is from front to back. And I'll give you a little view. So it's definitely a huge difference. And um, you know, being able to go outside just to get the mail without your hat, or cut the grass, or go to the grocery store, or go to a restaurant, dress up in a suit and look nice, go to a fancy restaurant and feel like you belong. And that may sound harsh, but I'm speaking from my own personal feelings. And if you're watching this, my guess is you're probably feeling right about the same way I'm feeling about it too. I think we covered this. My biggest takeaway from getting subtle P, um, just I feel like a new person, you know, just a more positive, somebody who's more inspired to get back in shape, to eat better. It's weird, the psychology of looking at yourself, feeling good about yourself, and wanting to make other aspects in your life better. And I think this is a perfect example, and you know, I'm a living example of it. So um, it definitely, everything about your life, you know, may not be great, but to me, it's a big start, and it's leading to a, you know, as weird as it sounds, a better diet. You know, my starting to work out again, trying to get my body back in shape. And I really truly believe it all started from, you know. So after we posted the video, when I was at Scalp Logic, somebody reached out to me on YouTube and was able to get a hold of me, and we had a nice email exchange back and forth. And he'd asked me a few questions, so maybe if somebody out there has the same questions, we can cover them all here. If not, you could reach out to me on my email address or on Facebook, however you want to do it. Feel free to write me anything you want. I actually love talking about this, because something that is so important to me, that I'll travel across the country to get this done a number of times, and pay money for this service. It has to be important. And again, if you're watching this right now, I know it's important to you. And again, this is a topic that I love talking about. I actually kind of wish I was closer to Texas so I can go do like in-person interviews, because I love talking about it. It's basically a like-minded person who has been through the same feelings that I went through when I started losing my hair, to trying to hide it. Everything he did, everything he describes in his videos. We're speaking about Joe right now. Everything he speaks about in his videos, it's like you feel that, because that's exactly how you felt. So let me share some of those questions and answers I got right now. I think I went about 6 times for 6 sessions. This is probably not how it's going to be across the board, but for myself, it's what I wanted. I was very skeptical of this at first. Honestly, when I first went, my mindset was if I get there and Joe's SMP or subtle P doesn't look exactly how it looks on the video, on the YouTube videos in person, then keep my deposit. I'm out. I mean, and it sounds pretty that, not to sound too harsh about that, but um, I'm going to be wearing this, on my head forever, and I want it to look good. So basically, for me, I started out very light, and I knew that I was going to go back a number of times, and it was in the budget. So little by little, darker and darker every time. I'm still kind of weighing, whether I like this or if I want to go a little bit darker. That's just, for me, time's going to tell on that, because I'm going to give it a little more, time to heal. I'm also right now in the Midwest in, pretty much Chicago. We're just kind of getting into spring right now, so the sun's just starting to peek out a little bit, and I would like to get some sun to it. I'm still going to continue to wear some heavy sunblock. SPF 50 is what I have. I actually have a special SPF for bald men that keeps the shine down. So another question the same person asked me was about the shine, and I use that. I'll flash that on the screen as well. I don't know if you can see this. I'm sure you can, but on my head, it's kind of a different color from right here and down. You could see it right here. That's from 20 years of wearing a hat and being in the sun. None of this has got to see sun in forever. So now it's more about trying to even this with this and see how the hairline looks. If I have to go darker, I will. If I like it just how it is, I'll keep it. It's just a matter of time. And like I said, it's in the budget. If I want to go back, I will. And I look forward to doing so if I have to. I shave, if not every day, maybe every other day. I try to shave every day if I have to. If I'm gonna be without my hat, I'll shave when I'm, before I leave. Uh, I use this. Joe talked about this on his YouTube channel, and that's where I got the idea to get it. That's what I got. It's the wall foil razor, um, trimmer, clippers, whatever you want to call it. That's what I use. I could, do it while I'm driving to work at a stoplight. It takes, 2 or 3 minutes, and then I'll just like use this small one I got from Walgreens to get on top of my ears that this one won't reach. So that's how I do it, and it cuts it as perfect as it can. I've tried to use a razor since I got it done. I just feel like this does a lot better. So this is what I'm going with. When it comes to getting your sessions in, I believe it's after the first one, you got to wait about 2 weeks. And after that, I think 1 week in between sessions. For me, myself, it was more about getting the time off work and scheduling a flight and scheduling with Joe and Nicole. So there's a few factors that factor in, I guess. So it's pretty much, I would say, if you're trying to get in as soon as possible, it's up to Joe and Nicole to get you scheduled and your work schedule and getting a flight. So that's that. This is the reason why I went to Joe and Nicole. They're the only ones that talk about this. No one else does. I actually watched one other company talk about it very shortly in like a live stream, and he kind of rolled his eyes at it almost. And he's one of the bigger names in this industry, and again, when I look at some of these, before and after pictures, they look great in some lights, but other lights, it just looks too, um, there's just too many dots and it just doesn't look good. It draws too much attention to itself, and something like this where, it's so, it is subtle. It is so subtle that it doesn't draw attention to itself. You can't see the dots. It looks, your head may be shiny in some lights, but that's just the nature of the beast. If you have a full head of hair and you shave it bald, you're still going to get some shine on it. That's just how it goes. Also, when it comes to the other companies I've seen, some of the hairlines are just too bold. For myself, I'm in my 40s. I'm 42, and this hairline right here suits somebody in their 40s. You wear a hat for 20 years and you take it off, people aren't going to believe your hairline's down here like a 15-year-old. They're going to know something's going on. So I would rather it look natural. Even though it's fake, you still want to, like, for me, I want something a little less bold, a little more broken up, a little less straight, maybe a little higher up. And if I go back and decide to get a little more dark, maybe I will bring it down just slightly, but nothing too drastic. It's just a matter of, how I feel. I think it looks great right now, but again, it's just a matter of I'll take some more pictures as time goes on. I'll go outside in the sun, see how it looks, just to get other representations of different lighting and areas, and over time to see if it fades out or gets darker, and I'll go from there. When it comes to traveling to Texas, I'm in the Midwest. I fly out of Chicago. It seems like a big headache to travel across the country to go to Texas to go to their shop and then come home. And I mean, it could be a headache, but after I did it the first time, it just got easier. I'm not somebody who takes a lot of trips, so flying is something I at this point hadn't done in about 20 years. So Nicole actually showed me a app to use to book my flight. It was very simple. I booked my flight. I early in the morning went to the airport. 2 2 hour plane ride to Texas, a 20-minute Uber ride to Scalp, and that was it. Got my session done. Ubered it back, took my flight back, and I was home by 11 p.m. So it's a long day, but it's one day, and then you're done. Then you do it again eventually, but at that point, it's not a trip that you're taking that you have to spend a week there, or where you have to get a hotel. It's it's just like it's like me being gone all day, for work, just a long day of work, and then you come home and you take a day or two off, and depending on what kind of work you do, you're back at it like normal, and now you have hair.